Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Yadav and today we are going to see Android lab experiment number 3. So in which we are going to use SQLite and we are going to just display the simple demonstration of SQLite. So as we all know that in the Android Studio, SQLite is already embedded for every app which we are making, so that if we are going to close the app, the data should not be lost and the data can be retrieved again afterwards. So we are just going to demonstrate that simple thing using set employee data using the setter method, and we are just going to get back the data from the database using the getter method. So to demonstrate that, I have created just a simple activity. The first, only the UI. Over here we have taken an ID and employee name and enter data and show data. So over here we have just taken two text fields. Over here we have taken just two text fields, edit text and two buttons. Here we have the linear layout and with the orientation vertical, and then we have the button enter. So to take the values from the edit text, we have given the ID to edit ID and name, and then we have the button which is enter and show ID. So we are going to interact with this. In the main activity, we have just taken the edit text and button and we have just typecasted all of the edit text and buttons view elements to their native Java using the r.id.view and r.id.eid. Then we have just made a final database of the new database, which over here is in this separate file, and for that we have used SQLite Open Helper. To use SQLite Open Helper, we must import these two files, SQLite.database and SQLite Open Helper. In this we must override these functions. We must override onCreate and onUpgrade functions. So onCreate is called only when the first time it is created. So here we have the create table employee ID integer primary key and employee name varchar of 20. So this will create our table. Whereas onUpgrade, whenever we create a new table whose new version is greater than the older version, then only it will be invoked. And when it is invoked, we have given the command set that db.sql execute SQL, which is going to drop our existing table, and it is going to create it again, so the new table will be updated. So over here we have just a constructor for that, which takes the context of the string name and SQLite database cursor factory and the version as the argument, which is we are simply going to pass to the super of that database, which is extended from SQLite Open Helper. So that is directly taken context name and it is passed to the parent. Then we have made two functions, set data and get data. In set data, we are just taking the int a and string b, which is taken from our ID and name, and we are just going to make the object of writable database, and then we are just going to write the values, content values, and put values a and b, and then we are going to insert. So for that we have db.insert employee null values and db.close. So whenever we are going to use it, at last we close it. And similarly for get data, we are going to take in writable, we have taken writable data. In this case we have to just get the data from the database, so we are taking it this dot get retrievable database, and then we are going to make a cursor object which will just point to our, when we execute this query, it will point to our fields. Then we have the result. While cursor moves to the next, it is not empty, it is keep on going again and again, and the string a and b values will be changed, and at the last we are going to have the result, and we are just returning it to the main activity. So over here we have made just button dot on click listener. So whenever the button is clicked, if the text field is not empty, the first text field E1 is actually the first text field, if it is not empty, then we are just going to take the string s1 and we are going to pass the s1 into integer and s2 into text string, and then we are going to set the data. So as we have seen in the constructor, it takes two of the argument s1 and s2, and if it is empty, we are just going to show the text field that enters some values, it is wrong. And over on click listener, we have set on click listener. Here we have the string result and result database dot get data, and that we will get data from the database, and we are just going to make text application context for length long and dot show, so that all the result which are returning from the second file result we will get over here, and we are just going to display that result over here. So every time that new file is added, we are inserting a new line. So let's execute it and see. I have already installed this in my phone. Employee ID से Visay and some name. So first, already we have seen that these three things are already in the database. So let's say one more, we are entering the data, and it is entered, and it is displaying the third data. These all are available in the data. So even if we close the app, so it is cleared. Even if we close the app and we start it again, and if we show the data, it will stay there, and there is no problem in restoring it. So that's all. Thank you for watching.